Good morning, everyone. It's Penelope. It's Tuesday, and this is Talkative Tuesday. I want to talk about women. I want to talk about a percentage of women that should be admired. I also want to ask you to think about what woman or women do you admire most? What woman or women have touched you in a way that changed you or made you feel differently about life? It's very important. I'm going to mention one woman, and that would be my mother's mother. In my opinion, she is or was a pioneer woman. She plowed with a horse and a plow. She ran acres of crops. She ran a greenhouse for an income. She took care of a household. She preserved every kind of food that she could preserve. She made clothing. She made quilts. She did all of that. And she is like up there as one of the most admired women in my life. Okay, I'm gonna quit getting choked up because I didn't admire her, when I was a kid because she wasn't the lovey-dovey grandma that made me cookies and just loved them. She wasn't that kind of a woman. She was a woman. She had a job to do every day. She didn't have time for that. Um, but that's okay because now I admire her in a whole different way. I wish I could go back in time right now and spend a week with her with this outlook of let me learn what you know. Anywho, I don't want to cry. Okay. Um, Now, think about the women or woman that you admire the most that has touched your life when you were a young lady, um, a young girl. You know, was it a family member? Is it someone in history? Was it the lady down the street? Did she do something that you admired that changed your life in any of those ways? Now, I want to talk about women. I want to talk about a percentage of women. Now, there is another percentage of women, but I don't call them women. I don't even know what to call them. They want to be pampered. They want to be supported. They want, they just want. I want this. I want that. And you need to do this for me because I can't. That's not the kind of woman I am. And that's not the kind of woman that I want to be for young ladies to admire. I want women to be self sufficient. I want women to learn to do the things that they need to do in order to not be dependent upon someone. I think it's very important. So, if you are a woman who thinks you are uh, someone that should be admired, um, let people know that. Put yourself out there so that young women can figure out where they need to go in life. Teach them the old life skills. Teach them what you can. I just recently gave my daughter a cast iron skillet, and I want her to use that. I also gave her an Instapot, but the cast iron skillet is the way. I taught her how to make sausage gravy, and then I gave her her own cast iron skillet. You know, that's just one thing. Granny gravy, sausage gravy in a cast iron skillet is freaking awesome. I taught her how to make it. Now, has she made it? I don't know. She's used her Instapot once that I know of. But anyway, the old ways, cast iron skillets, canning, preserving food, growing a tomato plant. Um, I do want to bring my daughter out here when I start canning. So I want her to help me can, and I want her to get that bug. Because when I go ahead and decide to retire one of my canners and buy a new one, she's going to get it. And so that way she can when she wants to. And we'll teach her the easiest ways to can, so that way, even in her busy lifestyle, she can as well. But let's talk about the four N's of women. Nurturing, nesting, nursing, and negotiating. Those are the 4 keys to being a good woman. Because nurturing, okay, is a natural part of most women. We are genetically and instinctually nurturers. We nurture. When the baby cries, we pick it up and we love on it. We find out what's wrong with it. We want to make sure that everybody has underpants and socks and clean towels and clean linens. And, oh, Johnny needs a shirt. We're going to have to go get him a shirt. Nurturing. And with nurturing also comes with making sure that everybody is fed properly. We want to feed our children properly. And with that nurturing and feeding properly, we want to make sure that we are subjecting our children to natural foods and, treats. But nurturing means you're nurturing them, you're teaching them, you're just loving them in every way that you can, and that's even feeding them properly. And I think that's very important. Nesting. We want to make sure our home is nice and clean. Well, not at my house because it's not. But I don't have little ones running around. We want to make sure that everybody has the proper furniture in their rooms. We want to make sure that everybody has a pillow and, there's just nesting. You want to make sure things look good. You want to make sure that there's garbage bags in the garbage can. That's part of nesting. As you know, when you get ready to have a baby, especially your first one, I sat down in the middle of the bedroom and folded and unfolded and made outfits with little clothes that I had gathered for hours. I think that was the nesting for a baby. So we're nesters. Nurses. We are natural nurses. Okay? Someone gets a boo-boo, we're going to clean it, we're going to put some salve on it, we're going to cover it, we're going to kiss it, we're going to make it better. Women are natural nursers. We just are. That's what we do. We make sure that if someone's got an ouch, we make sure there's something in there for that. We take care of it. We clean it. We make sure it looks okay. And we doctor it ourselves. Nurses, we nurse it. Okay? Negotiating. I think women are the best negotiators ever because women tend to look at both sides. You have 2 opposing sides, and a woman is going to look at both sides and go, okay, now listen. If we do this, then everybody will get along. So negotiating skills, women have it, especially when you have a bunch of kids and they're all fighting over something, or someone got mad at someone, or someone poked someone, and that's what we do. We negotiate. Why women don't rule the world is beyond me. We have all the skills there to be the perfect leaders. We should be the leaders of our homes. But, obviously, if there is a man in the house, you want him to think he's the leader, right? But we know who leads the house. It's the one that cooks the food, right? Now, there are 2 ends that you shouldn't be if you're a woman. And most women aren't. Narcissists. Women are not good narcissists. And when they are, they get called out on it. Narcissism. There is no way that I would put my needs before anybody in my family or my children or my household. Okay? Even when we're sick, we take care of the babies. We take care of the husband or whomever. We take care of the family. Women's jobs are never done, right? It's true. Okay. Negativity. The worst thing in the world for a woman to do in a family situation is to be negative. When we're teaching our children as we raise them while they're still in our nest, we don't want to be negative. That is a horrible thing to teach your children. So, being negative and being a narcissist, those are the 2 ends. Don't be as a woman, right? Now, whether you're a working woman outside of the home or a homemaker, it doesn't matter. You still have the same responsibilities. And I'm telling you, I'm okay with that to a point. But, the expectations from the family or the household are meals, clean clothes and linens, and the home to be in a manner that we can live in. Now, if you negotiate with your spouse and your children the chore list, that's fantastic. That's even better. God bless you. Kudos to you. But we do have expectations on us being mom and spouse as a woman. Expectation from others. If you work outside of the home, your mind might and your heart might always be at home. But when you're working a job, they expect you to be 110% there. Even if they ask you to stay over, well, we also need to work Saturday and Sunday, so you're going to have to work 7 days a week. That's when I go, I know. You can have a little bit of my Saturday, but you cannot have my Sunday or whatever, because I have to have one day of being at home, because that is where I am queen. That's my queendom. You're gonna take it away from me. You're taking me away from my nurturing and my nursing and my negotiating and my nesting and providing for my family. No matter what, being the woman of a household is not an easy job. And then you have expectations from yourself. You're like, I've got to maintain my home. I got to take care of my family. I have to do as much as possible to please everyone in the household, and that's what we do. But that's why we're women, and that's why we're nurturers. But what I want to tell you is, if you're going to be a woman and you're going to put yourself out there, be someone that someone can admire. Have a quality that a young lady can learn from. Teach your skills, your knowledge, because that's what's important. So be a woman that young ladies can admire. That's my advice. You all have a great day. The garbage truck is here. Bye.